In this video, we're going to look at the term predicate nominative. Here is a definition. A predicate nominative is a word or group of words that completes a linking verb and renames the subject. Let's start with a reminder of what we mean by predicate. The predicate is the part of a sentence that tells us what the subject does or is. In other words, it's everything that is not the subject. So here's an easy example. Elvis lives. Well, Elvis is our subject and lives is the predicate. It tells us what the subject does. Adam lives in Bangor. Well, this is our subject, so this is the predicate. The telegram contained exciting news. The telegram is the subject, and this is the predicate. The girls in our office are experienced instructors. The girls in our office, that's the subject, so this is the predicate. Remember, it's everything that is not the subject. It's the part of the sentence that tells us what the subject does or is. Look at this one though. He told me that the girls in our office were experienced instructors. He is the subject, so this is the predicate. And this is the predicate. But look at this. The girls in our office is also a subject, and it has its own predicate. So let's look up at the definition. The predicate is the part of the sentence or clause that tells us what the subject does or is. In other words, if there is a subject, then there will be a predicate. Okay, let's get back to predicate nominative. The word nominative just means something that functions like a noun, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. We're going to talk about linking verbs very shortly, but for now, let's just look at a predicate nominative. Here's an example. Alan is a vampire. Well, this is our subject. Is the linking verb. A little bit more on these in a second. Well, here's a predicate nominative. It completes the linking verb and renames the subject. Let's do another one. She was a firefighter. Well, this is our subject. Was is the linking verb, and a firefighter is our predicate nominative. It completes the linking verb and renames the subject. Okay, as promised, let's talk a little bit more about linking verbs. A linking verb is used to re-identify or to describe its subject. So, here is the subject of this sentence. This is the linking verb. And the linking verb is used to re-identify Mark. Here is another one. Once again, the subject is Mark. This time the linking verb is seems. And the linking verb is used to help us describe the subject. Here's another. Sarah will be a pilot. Or Sarah is the subject, will be is the linking verb, and it is used to re-identify Sarah. Sarah was angry. Well, the same subject. Here is our linking verb, and it is used to describe the subject, to describe Sarah. Look at these words. They look a lot like the predicate nominatives that we've just seen. And actually, these two are predicate nominatives. But these two are not predicate nominatives. They can't be, because remember, the word nominative means something that acts like a noun, and these are adjectives. So, as you might expect, these are called predicate adjectives. Now's a good time to say that predicate nominatives are sometimes called predicate nouns. That makes sense. Okay, let's clear some of this. Here's another bit of terminology. These words that complete these linking verbs are called subject complements. And as we know, subject complements can be a predicate nominative or a predicate adjective. Okay, That was about linking verbs, but we spoke a lot about predicate nominatives, predicate adjectives, and subject complements. And that's no coincidence, because they are required to complete a linking verb, so it makes sense that we're going to talk about them in the context of linking verbs. Okay, let's clear that. Here is another example. The new law is an opportunity. So the new law is the subject. This is our linking verb. And an opportunity is our predicate nominative. And it completes the linking verb to rename the subject. We can now also say that it's a subject complement. Let's add a bit. The new law is an opportunity and a risk. Well, this is still a predicate nominative, and it still completes the linking verb to rename the subject. But this time there are two nouns, so this one is a compound predicate nominative. Keep an eye out for that term. And as we know, it's a type of subject complement. I want to talk a little bit more about the word nominative. Remember, we've said it's something that functions as a noun. Well, that can be a single noun, a noun phrase, a noun clause, or a pronoun. Let's look at a predicate nominative that is a single noun. Today is Christmas. Well, this completes the linking verb is. That means it's a predicate nominative and it's a single word. Let's look at a predicate nominative that is a noun phrase. Tony will be a lawyer. Well, will be is the linking verb. A lawyer is a predicate nominative. It's made up of two words, so therefore it's a phrase. Here's another example. Tony will be an expensive option. It's a noun phrase and a predicate nominative. Next, noun clause. I will be whatever you ask. Whatever you ask is a noun clause. It's a noun clause which is a predicate nominative. And then we have a pronoun. It was me. Me is a pronoun. It completes the linking verb was. This is a pronoun and a predicate nominative. Now, something I have to say is that some people would prefer this sentence. It was I. And that's because a predicate nominative should be in the nominative case, which is the same as a subjective case. And this is the argument for saying it was I instead of it was me. However, it was me is now far more common than it was I, and we have to accept that languages change, and so therefore it was me has become acceptable. Here is a graph from Google's Ngram viewer that supports this view. If you're unaware of it, the Ngram viewer scans millions of books written over the last 200 years. And you can see that approximately at the turn of the millennium, it was me overtook it was I. And remember, this is in published books. It's not what people say, it's what authors wrote. Anyway, there's more about that point on the website. We got quite technical there, and I want to leave you with this slide. Remember, a predicate nominative is a word or group of words that completes a linking verb and renames the subject. So here is one of our first examples. She was a firefighter. Well, there's our subject. Here's a linking verb, and here is our predicate nominative. It completes the linking verb to rename the subject. That's everything. Thanks for watching.